the Super Filly Merlene and the Super crowd that was giving her a lot of support. And there was a lot of support for her here at Randwick this afternoon. She's a super little horse. And she's treated them again as she did in the Golden Slipper. She paid $2.40 and $1.40. Number 3, Clang, was second at $4.10. That's a good bit for $1. And number 2, My Duke, was third at $3.10. Well, we're now going to go from the turf, and we're going to go to a little bit of motor racing and rounds of the Formula 1 and 500cc World Championship.
Right, we're back racing, but we're not at Randwick this time. That's pictures from Caulfield, where the first leg of the Dudley Double at Caulfield is the Victoria Handicap, a 1400-metre sprint, and it's a quality field this year. OK, they're half in line. We better get through these totes quickly, or we'll miss the start of the race. Number 1, Hunza Court, at $17. Zero Limit at the same price. Number 3, Bourbon and Ice, $8. Simple as That is $7.50. Centil and Ruline, both at $11. Good tip after Merlene. Ben's Rocket at $9. Jadiva Bill, very hard to beat, $6.50. Royal Discard, $13. Belzevere, $17. Palace Prince is out. Mobile Link, $9. Tuscany Flyer and Tambon Ladder scratchings, $15 Captive, $6.50 Country Lane, and Let's Cut Loose and Bold Poet are both scratchings. I needn't have gone quite as quickly. They're behind the line at Caulfield. Just a couple more to go in, and then we'll be ready for action. Our caller, as usual in Melbourne, is John Russell. Here he is.
Out to run. Stand by for a start. Lights on, they're off. Ruline first to jump out near the inside, out very quickly also, as Simple as That, but beaten for speeder. And Mobile Link began very quickly towards the outside and goes straight to the front as they race over the hill. Mobile Link the leader, a length and a half, make that 2 on Ruline. Going fast on the outside, Hunza Court with Royal Discard taking up a handy posse. Further back as Captive, a length and a half. Further back in the field came Bourbon and Ice, being followed closely by Belzevere. At the hill, the others were Centile as they race onto the railway side. Simple as That is back along the inside of Zero Limit. Jadiva Bell third last with Country Lane, and Ben's Rocket is last of all. 800 metres left to go, and Mobile Link the leader. Half a length in advance here of Hunza Court. 3 or 4 lengths away, Royal Discard on the inside of Captive. A length and a half to Ruline, being followed next by Belzevere. Bourbon and Ice, hard-ridden Centile. Zero Limit well back, Simple as That. The Jadiva Bell still third last on the outside of Ben's Rocket, and Country Lane last of all as they come around the home turner. Mobile Link is being tackled very quickly by Hunza Court, and just in behind them running on Royal Discard, and they were followed by Captive over on the outside, and behind them Ruline is looking for a run as they straighten over. Royal Discard over on the outside has taken the lead with about 300 to go and kicked away Royal Discard. A length and a half in advance of Hunza Court, followed by Ruline, and back behind them Captive and Simple as That down the outside. But Royal Discard with a handy break, and Country Lane is finishing very fast along the inside. Royal Discard is the leader with 100 metres left to go. Country Lane coming at Royal Discard in the final stages. Country Lane grabs the lead, and Country Lane has got up to score well on the line. Jadiva Bell flew to get second. Simple as That is third, followed by Royal Discard and Bourbon and Ice. Next home, Ben's Rocket, Zero Limit, followed by Ruline. A good long gap further back in the field to Centile, and they were followed next home by Captive. Hunza Court weakened out of it, followed by Belzevere, and last home is Mobile Link.
Well, you wouldn't have believed that Royal Discard could miss a place when you look at it there. That's him way out in front, but miss a place he did. Over on the rails comes Country Lane, ridden by John Didham. It dives through along the inside to take the lead from Royal Discard. Then watch these two down the outside. Jadiva Bill widest out in the green sleeves. She actually gets up to run second as Royal Discard weakens, and the grey in the centre, Simple as That, snares third money. The winner, TAB number 16, Country Lane. Second, number 8, Jadiva Bill. Third, number 4, Simple as That. That's the racing action for the moment. There's some football action over at Cogra Oval, where St George are playing Newcastle. Peter Sterling is there. Here he is.
Thanks, Ken. It's the final game.
Yes, racing certainly in the blood all over Australia at the moment. We've just seen the running of race 5 in Melbourne, the Victoria Handicap. We'll go now to have a look at those dividends. Country Lane, number 16, $7.80 and $2.70 the win. Jadiva Bell was second. She paid $2.50, and Simple as That coming over the top of them was third. She paid $2.90. Lots of sport, as we mentioned before, has been going on all over Easter. And to give us an update on it all, here's Ian Maurice.
Simon, thank you. Yes, there is one AFL match in progress today. It's Melbourne. We've seen some great races over this Easter weekend, and not just at Randwick. At Pambula on the New South Wales South Coast, the Class 2 handicap over 1,400 metres attracted a field of 4, but there were 2 scratchings, leaving Gule Hewer and Impervious to fight it out. And fight it out they did. Gil Hewer at 5-2 on Impervious at evens. The race couldn't have been closer. It was a dead heat. Yes, a dead heat in a two-horse race. No losers. And the connections picked up $1,125 each, while Octagonal was the talk of the nation. Gil Hewer and Impervious had their fair share of discussion at Pambula, and I don't know what the Quinella was either. Okay, more from Randwick for you coming up shortly right after this break.
Race 5 is due in just under 4 minutes. It's a 2,000 metre event, and there's the barrier just down past the winning post, so they've got about almost a lap of the course, about 7/8 of a lap of the course. And the top weight is number 1 Darbas with 60 kilos to be ridden by Shane Dye, and as I speak, he's just come in a touch on the tote to $4.80. Circles of Gold, well, Circles of Gold has been sensationally backed in the betting ring, and she's into $4. Sarangani at $7, Noisy Pier at $34, Linesman at $8.50 out to $9. Dupain is just getting out of fraction now to $3.10. Actually, in the ring, Circles of Gold has displaced him, I think, for favouritism. She had the last time I was there. $3.10 might get out a little bit more on the tote yet. Max Victory at $21, a big run last week. Wins on Track as a roughie at $80-1. Cross Swords, good old stages, fairly good value there at $21. And Shirley's Delight, well, Shirley isn't going to fire too well in this field, and Shirley's Delight is at 100-1. Okay, I think it's a very, very tough race. I've tipped Dupain. I'm a little bit worried if he'll get enough speed. Simon, what do you fancy?
Yes, I'm not far away. I thought Dupain looked very well in the mounting yard, as did Circles of Gold. Darbas, possibly a little bit short this one, but leading towards a Sydney Cup and the second Sydney Cup. Cross Swords, the old Grosvenor horse, owned by the Inghams, trained by John Hawkes, I thought looked exceptionally well. And I was just interested in your comment that the last time you were out in the betting ring, that's the price he was. It couldn't have been long ago.
That's exactly right. I don't mind ducking out to see what's happening in the ring. That was Max Victory in the green colours there. Max Victory, good run last week in a slightly easier race behind Sarangani. They're both running today. There's the roughie of the field, Shirley's Delight. Shirley's Delight is ridden by the South American jockey Santiago Soto, who hails from Chile. That's Darbas in the white cap with the red and green colours. There is Santiago Soto aboard Shirley's Delight, and he's not far away from Harry Troy. You're there, Harry?
Yes, Ken, over here beyond the 2,000 metre start. Ken, couldn't help but notice on my way to the barriers, Larry Cassidy's Mount Sarangani done a dipsy doodle, mate, and almost fell halfway down the straight, but seems to have taken no harm from it, and they're just adjusting the gear to that horse now. Well, Kenny, I like Darbas, the top weight. He's got a very good horse's weight, but he's earned it, and he's my pick for the race. I thought he'd probably get the cash over Circles of Gold. She looks very, very well, the Brian Smith trained filly, and sure to run well. And for third, I like Sarangani. He's just walking by me now, and they've just adjusted the gear on that horse, and he looks quite okay. I tell you what, Ken, the best roughie in the race on looks, you couldn't go past number 4, Noisy Pier. He's my roughie for a trifecta. And he looks enormous. He's sure to run a terrific race. Back to you, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much, Harry. That's Circles of Gold in centre screen now. Tactics will be quite important here because there may not be a lot of speed on. I was told that Circles of Gold, who normally leads, might necessarily go to the front today. There's Sarangani, a good win last week, Simon.
Yeah, certainly was a good win at Rose Hill, and I'm sure Bart Cummings, even though he's stepped up a couple of kilos or 2.5 kilos in the weights, expecting big things from him today.
There's Wings on Track. Wings on Track is better on a wet track, and just a little bit out of form lately. 9th of 10 at Taree last start. Doesn't augur well for a run at Randwick.
The Ice Man might warm her up. G. Cooksley.
They're all in the barrier, and this man will warm them up. Johnny Tapp, here he is.
Cross Swords is the veteran. He's an 8-year-old winner of the Sydney Cup, I think 3 years ago. Now the starter hits the button and they're off and running in the JRA plate. A good start. The old boy Cross Swords lobbed in front at the start. Linesman began well and so did Max Victory. Dupan is angling over into a handy spot. Noisy Pier is easing off the speed. Circles of Gold is trapped out about 4 deep early and she wants to run. And back midfield is Darbas between runners. Shirley's Delight out fairly deep, followed by Sarangani. And Wings on Track is back at the tail to the back. And Dupan made a lightning move around the outside to take up the running and is immediately 2.5 in front of Circles of Gold. A length and a half to Max Victory and 3/4 to Shirley's Delight. A length to Cross Swords on the inside of Linesman, followed by Noisy Pier, Sarangani. A length away Darbas and a length to Wings on Track, who's last. Down the back straight they go, and Dupan steadied by Beedman, led by 3/4 to Circles of Gold. A length and a half to Max Victory on the inside of Shirley's Delight. Sarangani pulling his way up 3 deep on the outside of Linesman and Cross Swords. Then Noisy Pier, followed by Darbas, and Wings on Track last, about 9 off the lead. Coming around the top turn, Circles of Gold pulling too hard, and the rider elected to again whip to the front now. Circles of Gold 2 or a bit more in front of Dupan. In third spot, Sarangani 3 deep going up in a hurry, followed by Shirley's Delight. Max Victory on the fence, a gap to Cross Swords. Further back Linesman. Darbas is now out 3 deep as they come down the side, followed by Noisy Pier and Wings on Track, but they're bunching up tightly. The leader, Circles of Gold. Dupan again got to her girth. Sarangani third, has been off the track most of the way, followed by Max Victory, Cross Sword, Shirley's Delight. Darbas is going to be shunted about 4 deep on the turn, followed by Noisy Pier and then Linesman and Wings on Track as they come over the rise. Dupan and Circles of Gold together. They're clear of Sarangani, followed by Max Victory. Darbas on the outside, called upon, is looming up. He's running a big race under that huge weight. At the 200 mark, Darbas wide out joins Dupan. Max Victory has burst through on the fence. Darbas right out in the middle of the track as in front as they get near home. Oh, geez, an improved horse, this bloke. And Darbas raced away to beat Dupan with Max Victory third, followed by Linesman, Cross Sword, Circles of Gold, then Sarangani, Shirley's Delight and Noisy Pier, and last Wings on Track.
60 kilograms in all, and 60 kilograms wasn't too much for Darbas. He was just too good. He won the prize, and Shane Dye was very astute down the side of the course. When Sarangani went up 3 deep, Dye pulled out to follow him up because there had been no speed in the race, and he knew if he stayed back, he couldn't out-sprint them in the run home. But he was in the right position at the right time. Well, I reckon he had them covered at the top of the rise and was just too good. Gai Waterhouse has done a fabulous job with this horse, and today was his 8th win. He's hit the lead as we pick up this replay, gone past the lightly weighted Dupain, to whom he gave 7.5 kilos, and now Max Victory kicks up along the fence in the green colours, but his run was short-lived, and Darbas goes on to win from Dupain. Max Victory in third place. Wide out is Linesman, who got to the line quite well, and in the Ingham colours is Old Cross Swords. He's actually run officially 4th. Let's have a look at this head-on shot. That's Darbas and Shane Dye. Great ride by Dye. Whichever way you look at it, you've got to give him full credit. Darbas first, that's Cross Swords on the inside there. We can't see a few horses. Cross Swords in the cerise colours. Now, that's Max Victory on the rails. The red cap dropping off is Circles of Gold. That's Dupain in the grey and red colours. Widest out is Darbas. The two behind them are Cross Swords in the cerise, and in the red and black is Sarangani. But there's only one winner there, and that's Darbas, who was selected by Harry Troy. And here's Harry with the winning jockey, Shane Dye.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Shane, an enormous effort under the big weight, 60 kilos, and he done it very well.
He just keeps improving, this horse. He was badly weighted again today, but Gai Waterhouse has got him going very, very well, and it's going to be hard to beat in the Gosford Cup in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, mate, I noticed you got off away from the rail down the side and tracked up coming to the turn so you wouldn't break the horse's momentum when you started his run, and just kept a long, sustained run.
Yeah, well, when a horse has big weights like 60 kilos, the last thing you can do is get stopped. So I don't mind covering ground if I'm out wide with 60 kilos, because your horse is going forward and he can keep going forward. But when they get stopped with 60, they can't get going again.
Yeah, that's right, mate, and thanks for talking to me. Back to you, Kenny.
Yeah, thanks, Harry. That's exactly what we said. Shane knew that. He went up around the back of the course. He might have been wide, but he had the horse travelling, and, well, he had the leaders covered a lot quicker than I thought he'd have them covered. There he comes back to scale, or the both of them. The winner, Darbas, the jockey, Shane Dye. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back with more action on the wide world of sports. Age to be sashed as the winner on Size Produce Stakes Day, Easter Monday here at Randwick. And if you back Darbass, was a nice pleasant dividend of $4.50 for the win, $1.70 for the place. Dew Payne was second, paid $1.50, and the third horse, Max Victory, paid a good dividend of $3.80. Many of the horses on show today were purchased at the annual William Inglis Easter sales. The sales are on again starting tomorrow. Now, Simon O'Donnell has brought a few horses in his time, and he tells us what to look for when he's buying a yearling.
For almost 130 years, William Inglis & Son have traded thoroughbreds, with its Easter sales being widely recognised as the premier sales event in Australia. This is the William Inglis Sales Auditorium. Where I'm standing here is where the auctioneer will put the hammer down on over 400 yearlings. It may be quiet now, but on Tuesday at 11 a.m, this area here will become part of a buying frenzy. The William Inglis Easter sale is expected to gross over 30 million Australian dollars. Reg, you expecting 1996 to be a bumper year for yearling sales?
No, Simon, I don't think it'll be a bumper year. When you look at the results of the yearling sales around Australia and New Zealand, I think that the market's a little soft at the moment. Business isn't doing all that well, and I'm not looking to anywhere near a record sale.
What about the cream of the horses? Is there some outstanding lots, especially pedigree-wise, you can point to us this year?
Well, this is the cream of the crop. There's no doubt about that as far as yearling sales go. We've got far and away the strongest pedigrees of any sale, and I'm very pleased to say that the conformation of the horses basically matches up to the pedigrees. Some of our best bred horses have the best conformation.
Is there a classic example of an Easter sale or a William Inglis sale where a horse for very cheap money has gone out there and won millions?
There is, and I mean, Rory's Jester was one. He made $7,500, went on to win the Golden Slipper, and is now generating a huge amount of income for his owners as a stallion. Zaya, who ran in the Golden Slipper, cost $27,500 last year, reportedly sold to the Japanese for $750,000. Merlin cost $100,000. That's a little bit more than most people can expect to spend, but still has now won the Golden Slipper, won all that prize money, and what's she worth? You know, $500,000, $700,000 just as a broodmare.
Reg, horse racing has been known as the sport of kings, but really it's there for everyone, isn't it?
Oh, that's exactly right. And in fact, I'm involved in a little syndicate myself, and we've all put in $2,500 to try and come here and buy a nice yearling. And you know, that's affordable to most people. And you can have a syndicate of 10 or 12 or 6 and get all your names in the race book. And it's certainly not a sport that you have to own a racehorse on your own. And in fact, I think it's much more fun to own it with a group of friends, and then you can celebrate together. And then sometimes, I suppose, you even have to commiserate together. But it even makes it a lot more fun.
Do you know anything better than the exhilaration of a horse going over the line first and you being an owner or a part owner of it?
I don't think there's many better things, Simon. No, it's absolutely exciting.
Buyers come in all shapes and sizes, as do horses. So what basics do we follow when purchasing a thoroughbred? This horse here is a full brother to Mahogany. Now, he was an absolute champion. Will his brother be? Only time will tell. But what does a buyer look for when he wants to buy a horse? Just a few of the basic things. They like to have a nice rounded nostril, a nice big nostril, one they can get plenty of air down in the lungs when they're wanting to win a race, especially that last furlong or so. An intelligent head. A lot of trainers will talk to you about the gap between their eyes. They like to have a nice gap in the forehead, nice alert ears, nice alert head, and basically a smart looking horse. Everyone seems to agree with a yearling that you need good conformation in the front of your horse. So his knees, his joints, not too long in the pasterns, but let's make sure everything's on straight, because a thoroughbred will put enormous pressure on those joints when he gallops. They have to be right. Buyers again will love to see a nice big long girth, and that's from the wither right down to under the belly here, just behind the shoulder. That's where all the horse's lungs and breathing equipment is, so that they really want that to be big so it can expand and get plenty of oxygen into its system to enable it to run under a lot of pressure for a long period of time. And you always like to see a horse with nice muscle formation over his hind quarter. That's where he'll get a lot of his power and he's just about to kick us too, I think, the full brother of Mahogany. But that's where he'll get a lot of his power over that hind quarter, and you'll like to see a good formation there that's going to grow out into a nice shape. In general, behind the horse, you like to make sure his back legs are very straight. We have some horses that may be a little cow-hopped. He is very straight behind. He's a lovely animal, this horse. He walks lovely, his temperament's lovely. He's done very well for us. Congratulations, you're now the proud owner of a new thoroughbred. But remember, today we only showed you the basics. There's still a fair bit of old lady luck involved. But I can assure you, this comes right from the heart. Booting a winner home, there is no greater thrill.
I hate to say this, but I think that the full brother of Mahogany was a better sort than the bloke talking about him.
I think he was in a little bit better fitness, Nick, anyway.
You didn't do a bad job. You enjoy being out the sale sign.
Yeah, I certainly do. And look, there's some great yearlings out there at the moment. There's yearlings there for everybody, from not much to plenty, and I'm sure that full brother of Mahogany, he'll make plenty.
A bit more than you and I can afford.
A bit more than you and I can afford. But we've got plenty still to come on the wide world of sports. We've got the Galaxy. We'll be back after this break.
That's the scene at Caulfield Racecourse as the horses parade behind the barrier before the running of the VAFA handicap. We've got a little bit of time this time. There's a few scratchings in this race, but we've still got a very interesting lineup. Number 1, Cyclone Watch, is one of the fancied runs. Cyclone Watch is showing at $4 even on the Victorian TAB. Remember, these are TAB prices. Clico, Tranquility and Cessna are all scratched. Leica Vista, Danny Bruton's mount in commission at $4.20. Salamandra, Stephen Baster, is at $4.50. And the tote favourite, Valjuric's riding her, Eastern Princess. She is at $3.60. Goldview is out to $13. Clary's Turn is at $15. She's a Pirate is a scratching. And then the 2 roughies. Standish at 40 to 1 and Natrone showing just a little bit over $34 at the moment. And Rosa Menina is another scratching. The race is over 1,800 metres, and as we flick back to vision there, you can see that they're piling in fairly quickly for the running of this race. A few scratchings. Caulfield, the second day of the new track, 1,800 metres. They start down the side of the course and about 3/4 of a lap of Caulfield. John Russell is our caller. He's ready. Let's switch down to him.
Salamandra, red. No harm done, rider back in the saddle. And the light to go on here for the 6th on the card. Already, they're off. And Natrone and the all-white beat them out with Clary's Turn away. Well, also Cyclone Watch got going quickly. And so did Eastern Princess, being followed by Standish. A length and a half into Goldview. Wide going up towards that top turn is Leica Vista and Salamandra last of all. Now they're racing up past the 1,400 metre mark, and Eastern Princess takes up the running with Cyclone Watch, and going up to make a line of 3 as Goldview as they climb the hill. A length and a half further back as Clary's Turn, being followed by Natrone. Leica Vista third last, followed next to last there. Going up the hill is Standish, and last of all Salamandra in a compact fielder. Goldview takes up the running on top of the hill with about 1,200 metres to run. A half length to Cyclone Watch. A length and a half Eastern Princess on the inside of Clary's Turn. 2 lengths further back as Natrona. Half a length to Leica Vista, followed by Standish, who's next to last, and last of all Salamandra. They're racing onto the railway side, just over 1,100 metres to travel, and Goldview being joined in the lead by Cyclone Watch. A length and a half Clary's Turn on the outside of Eastern Princess. 2 lengths away Leica Vista. They're followed by Natrona. A length and a half Standish second last, and commencing a move from the back now is Salamandra. 800 metres left to go. Goldview on the inside, just in advance of Cyclone Watch. A length and a half to Eastern Princess, has had a lovely run. Up on the outside, Clary's Turn. Leica Vista starting to come into the picture, and they're followed by Natrone, and back behind them Salamandra, and Standish has dropped out to last. Up towards the home turn they travel. Goldview just in advance of Cyclone Watch. Eastern Princess looking for a run. Deeper on the track as Clary's Turn, followed by Leica Vista. 2 lengths to Salamandra. They're followed by Natrone and Standish as they come around the home turn. 350 metres out. They're over the track here. Eastern Princess has quickly dashed to the front at the top of the straight and kicked away. Down the outside, Clary's Turn, followed by Cyclone Watch and Leica Vista under pressure. But Eastern Princess with a handy break at the 200, led about 2 lengths to Cyclone Watch, followed by Clary's Turn, and back behind them Salamandra and Leica Vista. But Eastern Princess is going strongly in the final stages. She's much too good, and under a lightweight, she's too good. Eastern Princess eased down to win by a length to Salamandra. Third is Cyclone Watch, followed by Clary's Turn, Goldview, Leica Lacquer Vista Standish, and last to finish is Natrone.
Yeah, great ride there by Vlad Jurek. He got a run between horses on the home turn and, well, just too good in the run down the line. Eastern Princess bolts away to win. That's Cyclone Watch in second place at the moment, but Salamandra gets up along the inside to grab second placing in the yellow cap, but really it was a one-horse race. Eastern Princess a clear winner over Salamandra, with Cyclone Watch hanging on for third just ahead of Clary's Turn. Okay, enough for Caulfield. Michael Mars here at Randwick. He's caught up with David Hayes. Here they are.
Now, David Hayes, you're here on a holiday from Hong Kong, I gather.
Yes, it's great to be at the races, not having to work, but I'm basically here for the William Inglis yearling sales.
So you're working in Hong Kong at the moment. How have things been going for you there?
I've had a good season, a dream start really. The winners are flowing through nicely, and I'm really enjoying it up there.
Have they given you a lot of money to spend at the sales?
I've got some nice orders. I won't be buying a lot of horses in the highest bracket, but I'll be very strong in the middle order.
All right, now, Cut Up Rough is racing here today. It's Peter Hayes, your brother, is training it, but how will it go?
Well, I'm hoping very well. He's a horse that ran very well in the Newmarket, and I think the speed of this race will suit him. He'll be well back off the pace and come rattling home, hopefully.
Well, this Galaxy, 1,100 metres, it's a very, very quick sprint. It's a very difficult race to win, isn't it?
Yes, it is a very hard race to win, but often won by a swooper, and that's what he is. So quietly confident in the camp is.
Go the swooper.
Let's hope so.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
This is a happy little trainer, David Hayes, isn't he, Ken? And had a lot of success here in Australia, and also having a lot in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you're a mate of his, Simon. Is he enjoying it in Hong Kong?
He certainly is. He loves it over there. They're new challenges. I think he'll be back here one day. I'm not sure when, but he's a good fellow at the caper.
They still all call Australia home. He's a good fellow, David Hayes. Michael Mars now switched to another good fellow. The jockey on one of the favourites, he's riding Moss Rocket. Actually, it's Robert Thompson. Here they are.
Robert Thompson, jockey on Moss Rocket, #1 and carrying 58 kilograms. It's a big impost. A lot for a horse to carry in a race like this?
Oh, it sure is, because we're up against the best sprinters in Australia at the moment, and I wish he had a couple of kilos less, but still in all, he's earned this weight, and he can carry weight pretty good.
Does a jockey sort of try to make himself lighter, if that's possible?
Oh, no, well, I'm pretty lucky today. I've only got the one ride and he's got top weight, so I was able to have some breakfast and lunch today.
Now, you've ridden this horse in most of your starts, haven't you? You're from Newcastle, he's from Newcastle.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I've rode him probably 3/4 of his runs sort of thing, and we've got a good association, and I hope we can keep continuing today.
You love the horse?
Yeah, he's a lovely horse, and I really do love him.
But he's brought you a lot of money too, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, but he is a lovely horse. He's a real character in himself, and he's a great horse to ride.
Will you ride him straight to the front today?
I don't know. We'll just have to see how it pans out and all that. We may just have a nice little sit on him today.
Good luck, Robert.
Thanks very much.
Okay, yes, Robert Thompson riding Moss Rocket. Moss Rocket is the top weight, and as Robert said, he deserves top weight. He's got the fine record. He's proved it in both Sydney and Melbourne, and there he is. He's by Rory's Jester, and he's a fine specimen of the thoroughbred, Simon O'Donnell, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is, Ken. Look, he's one of my favourites. I've followed him all through his career. He's had his leg problems, but he seems to have come sounder with age, if that's the right way of putting it. Kevin Burns has got him down there at Broadmeadow. Robert Thompson knows him well. I'm sure he'll run a great race.
Yes, remember, this is a Group 1 race, the Ansett Galaxy Handicap, and on the tote he's showing at $4.90, Moss Rocket. I think this horse has got a good chance. Legal Agent, he's showing at $14 on the tote. He goes very, very well at Randwick. He'll be ridden by Larry Cassidy. He's the winner of 7 races from 27 starts, and he's a pretty smart sprinter as well.
He certainly is, and his form at Randwick's exceptionally good. The Razor Sharp Handicap was over 1,100, was his last win here. 3 starts back. He won it by a length and a quarter from Montana Sands, a pretty smart horse.
He then also won the Challenge Stakes, but was disqualified because of a swab irregularity, so his record could be even better. And I just think Robert Thompson, who rode him in the Oakley Plate, may have been a touch impatient, although he had the one alley and he decided